many of you have quit snorting, smoking, and drinking? Anybody?
Many times.
Maybe I should have included shooting too. Now, all of these things seem to be so bad, right? So bad. So if you do it, then that makes you bad too, right? Yeah. Were you born bad, or did you just grow up that way? I know, I'm asking you very personal questions. So, enough of personal questions. Let's consider now what we're really talking about, what we're really addressing, is our involvement in living life with our current awareness. Our current awareness is much more like a camera. Click, 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 click. And we go by the click, click and come to a conclusion. I know what's going on. I've got it all figured out. I am with this. I went to school. I got an education. I have a good job. I have a good relationship. I've got everything going just the way I want it. But when I go to bed at night, I still have to wear my adult Pampers. Why is that? Because there's a part of me that I will not admit to that shows another side of me. And this other side of me reveals to me that I really am not getting it so far as what life is. Every now and then, yes, okay, I have to admit it, change happens. And sometimes I like it. But most of the time, I don't even like the thought of change. I mean, I have worked so hard, I've spent so many years, I've devoted my time and my attention to getting myself to where I have everything under control. Only to have it fall apart. Or start slipping and sliding. That's even scarier. But you see, the fact of the matter is, life is not a series of stills that simply reveals where we are in our awakening. Life really is a continuum. It is a flow. And if you notice, and eventually you do, you start realizing that this flow is not the same, but it is something that changes into something that changes into something that changes into something. And it is always changing into something. Monday will change into Tuesday. And if you're not careful, it'll change into Thursday before you know it. The continuum. You see, we start getting it as we start waking up and realizing that this thing that's going on goes on regardless of whether we like it or not. We have choices we can make, you see. We can recognize change and recognize the continuity, the continuance, the in and outs, the sharp abrasiveness, the gentle caressing, but it is all there revealing itself to us. As we continue to pay attention and get our heads out of it and start paying more attention from our heart, we start getting a feel for it, that it really is a change that is continuing, but it isn't anything that is really against us. It's just showing us where we're so rigidly fixed into our behaviors that we find it hard to adapt when something out of what we're expecting occurs. Change. That's why I put in there a blessing in disguise. Because often what we do is we look at the disguise. Oh my God, can this be happening to me? Where's God in all of this? Well, where is God in all of this? This is just a little to religion, that's all. Because religion is such a fix that is a ridiculous fix that keeps us from being in a position of true spiritual connection with the source that is within us and all about us. Okay, too much of a change for you today? I get it. But you see, every now and then, I feel that it's vitally important for us to have gentle reminders, such as this one, that change is going to come whether you like it or not. And if you really want to find that change is beneficial, then start in yourself coming to a place of embracing beneficial. Let yourself go to a place of realizing all is well. Ah, God, is that just shocking? When everything is going to hell in a handbasket and someone comes up and says to you, don't worry. All is well. Doesn't make you want to puke. But you see, if you give yourself about half a lifetime, you'll come back to it and you'll say, geez, that was true. I just wasn't seeing it then. I wasn't feeling it then. I wasn't believing it then. So all of this is to help you to see there's a connection between change and what's happening in the world today, what's happening in your world today, and you and where your awareness is and where you're going with your awareness. If you're letting someone else lead you along, then you're going to continue to be subject to that. If you open yourself and start realizing that my awareness is mine, if I don't like the way it's working, then I'm the one that needs to do something about it, and that's more than complain. I think complaining and adverse change are buddies. I think somewhere along the way they met. Maybe it was in the bar I was in the last time. And they said, let's partner up. We can really make some energy here. So, what if you come to a place of choosing to change because you realize it's what you need? What if you actually get quiet in yourself and start looking at what's going on in your life and realizing, okay, I can look at and find the worst because it's there. Or I can look at and find something better than the worst. And in so doing, I come to recognize that I'm exercising my power. I'm lining myself up with change, or I'm resisting change. And I'll resist it until they push me in the grave. Or you can, because of your own sense of less than, go to someone else and seek their sage advice. I suggest you go to that bar you've been going to. You'll get some really good advice on how not to live it. But they'll tell you how to live it. Okay, I've used that to the extent that I'm going somewhere else now. But you see, sometimes when you are feeling so less than, there's a part of you that's really wanting you to wake up and stop hiding behind that. So perhaps if you do seek sage advice about what's going on in your life, you do want to choose something similar. Okay? I know that's a stretch of the imagination. But you want to choose something similar to what you're experiencing. You might get help to help you help yourself. But there's a caution here that I would issue, and that is, don't then see the other person as the one who's going to live your life for you, that you keep going back to time and time again. This is for you to realize this is you rising to the occasion of living your life. Change. You see what I'm doing? I'm looking back. Now I know none of you ever do that. But when change threatens you, often what you do is you find yourself looking back. And you're saying, geez, remember the good old days? Gosh, I had it so good back then. Why can't it be like that? What's going on? Looking back keeps you there. You've got to take your head from looking back and open up yourself to a sense of trust that there is something. Now, here, something. That's something you could still say is a power outside of you. That's stirring you, that is pushing you to move out of where you are. Whereas the fact of the matter is, now here's the next step of what you might call the awakening shocker. But it usually happens over such an extended period of time, it isn't that shocking. And that is, you are the creator of your own life. You're the creator of your own life. You are the creator of your own life. If you can take a hold of that, then you can see, I'm the one who is initiating this change that I'm experiencing. I'm looking at it and seeing it as if it were something outside of me, when that just reveals I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. Don't worry about it. Who has that kind of attention up and running all the time anyhow? Do you? If you do, then I please want to come to you for your sage advice. Change. Change, it is a blessing in disguise. It helps you get to where you, as a wise being, see you need to go as the next step in your awakening. Sometimes it will seem as if it happens by accident, but you will be drawn to, attracted to others who have similar things going on, or who will be able to give you that support that will help you to realize you're connected. Even if it's only for a moment, it can help break that spell that you believe you're alone in what is confronting you, that you really are confronting yourself with. So I encourage you, if you want to rise up in your life and you want to meet your life's experiences with some positivity, then start associating with positive people. I know that sounds like a no-brainer, but sometimes we are brain dead. And we still try to hang out with the same old low energy that in reality we're giving ourselves the change to move on and move through. So this really is a message of encouragement to you, you see. I'm encouraging you to realize you are in the process of awakening, even if you don't realize it right now. Even if you find this message to be so obnoxious and finding that it just irritates you to no end, go ahead. It's like poison oak. It gets your attention. It does. And you'll probably scratch. And when you do, you'll realize that's not the solution. I need to keep my hands off of this and to go with it, realizing that it will not last forever, but its design is to get me from where I am and get me out of my self-limited sense of self so that I can open up. Okay. There may be some other things that will get your attention too, you know, like embracing risk. Any of you risk takers? Any of you risk takers? I doubt it. Most people, risk takers, you got to be young. Either that, or you realize the value of taking a risk, and you go ahead and you use it to your advantage. Instead of staying stuck where you are, believing, what is this? I'm 71 years old, for God's sakes. I'm too old to take risks. What is this? I'm past retirement. What is this being bestowed upon me in such an ungracious way? Take a risk. Go ahead. See what you've got. Go ahead. Go beyond yourself. Go ahead. Go within yourself. Go ahead. Look for the blessing instead of being mesmerized by the disguise, because it's there. Thank you.
For more information about the Metaphysical Church of Enlightenment or the Rodin Foundation, please go to our website at www.rodin.org. If you have been inspired by the revelations shared in these podcasts, please donate to the Rodin Foundation's ongoing efforts to help others help themselves at www.rodin.org/donate.